There have been Muslims in Taiwan since the 1600s, and there are communities of Taiwanese Muslims that have been here for generations. Now, despite this, the nation faces challenges in accommodating a growing number of Muslim migrants and visitors. Here's a glimpse of their experience.
My name is Abdullah. I am an imam here at the Taipei Grand Mosque. No, inshallah. Before I was 5 years old, when I used to come to this mosque, back then, the majority of the people who came here, they are all Chinese. I mean, they look Chinese, they speak in Chinese, and very few of them are actually foreigners.
Over 1,000 years ago, Arab and Persian traders brought Islam to China. Over the centuries, some of the descendants of Chinese-speaking Muslims moved to Taiwan. The first wave of arrivals could be traced back to the 17th century. Another group came in the 1940s after World War II with the Kuomintang government. The Taipei Grand Mosque was built in Taiwan in the 1950s with donations from Iran, Jordan, Turkey, and Iraq. Besides serving as a place of worship for Muslims, it is also a symbol of international exchange between Taiwan and Muslim countries.
If you come on Friday, then we would have people coming from at least 30 different countries around the world. Most of them are Indonesians, but also we have so many people from all different kinds of countries. One of the things that we learned from this change is that the Chinese community that once existed here in Taiwan, they used to be very active, but today, in 2025, they are no longer that active anymore. And many of their offspring, their later generations, aren't really connected to Islam anymore.
Taiwanese Muslims number only around 50,000, roughly 0.2% of the population. But since the 1990s, there has been a growing community of Muslim migrant workers and students, which has grown to around 250,000 today.
I'm from India, South, Middle South, Hyderabad. I've been Taiwan 26 years before. 这个是 Allahu Razzahu Razzahu， 它的意思是 Allah 是所有我们需要的是他给我们的。
Restaurant owner Mohammed says he found Taiwan very welcoming. However, the lack of halal food was something he noticed immediately.
When I'm here newly, that time we don't have halal food out there. So this one is like inconvenient. Now government, they have like they support halal business. Actually government doing many things.
But Indonesian student Nibros says finding the right food can still be a struggle.
Usually if I went to the night market, I just like for a walk rather than looking for a food because it's not an option. So to be safe actually, when I buy food or something at the convenience store, I will just choose a vegan option. We have to check the ingredients, and that actually takes a lot of effort and time, especially if you're a foreigner and you cannot read Chinese.
Abdullah, who grew up in Saudi Arabia, Belgium, and Turkey, says Taiwan is a Muslim-friendly place, but agrees that there's always room for improvement.
What we're lacking is the examples of integrating Islam with the local culture. And one of the best examples of showing the culture of a country or a nation is the food. So me personally, as a Taiwanese, I will have to say that unfortunately, I don't know many of the common Taiwanese food that people love to enjoy because most of them are not halal, and I never get to have a chance to actually taste them.
And to watch the full version of that story, do visit our YouTube channel or the Taiwan Plus website. Now, to understand the challenges faced by non-Muslim majority societies trying to create a halal ecosystem and how Muslim tourism can open up economic opportunities, we're joined by AbdulMaalik Tailor, the founder of Halal Tourism Britain, speaking to us from London, and Fazal Bahardeen, CEO of CrescentRating, speaking to us from Singapore. So Fazal, I'm going to ask you, where does Taiwan stand when it comes to being or in the Global Muslim Travel Index when you compare to other, let's say, East Asian countries?
I first went to Taiwan, Taipei in year 2000, I think almost 24 years ago, 25 years ago. And I struggled to find halal food and, where to pray and all that, although probably the mosque was already there. Since then, I have been going to Taiwan very often, and I made the last visit probably a couple of months ago, actually a few months ago. It has really changed a lot. I think especially the last 7-8 years, the government has put a lot of effort, both the Taiwan government and also in particular Taipei government has put a lot of effort. So it has shown up in our GMTI as well. They are now from this part of the world, they are only second to Singapore in our ranking. Of course, they were second, but now UK has come up on the second
Right.
spot,
Okay, let's go to the UK then.
yeah.
AbdulMaalik, as we saw in that film, Taiwan does have a growing Muslim population and a heritage of its own. How can that be? How can Taiwan use that, like you've been saying, to boost its visitors, its Muslim visitors, or give the halal-friendly experience?
I think in terms of as I say, the Muslim narratives, they really need to be promoted in any brochure marketing strategy, is to have maybe even international influencers coming there, showcasing snippets of the history, as well as you may want to, what some places, for example, are doing, where they have the first mosque, they actually put in a government plaque there saying this is the first plaque. That in itself can be an attraction. And I know certainly when we discovered London's first public Eid prayers of 1894, we managed to convince the local authority to put up a plaque there. That in itself has become a tourist destination as well. So many people are going there, taking their selfies, this, that, whatever, put it on the map, etc. So that in itself, spreads the message as well. But, from here, what I've noticed from the documentary, you have heritage here as well. You also have what's been suggested, which I noticed wasn't actually included, was Admiral Zihi, who actually has been suggested to have actually gone to Taiwan as well. So you've got his legacy, what was actually left there as well. But you have different parts in Taiwan history that is Muslim history as well. And I believe if you actually put the two together and produce like a guide in terms of Muslim heritage, that would be most helpful. And on the back of that, you can put your plaques. You can actually then bring in the influencers to spread the message through social media, and that would actually be a lot more helpful in terms of the marketing strategy of promoting Muslim heritage, and actually realize that it's not just the destinations where we're perhaps commonly used to finding Muslim heritage, like Bosnia, Uzbekistan, Turkey, but yes, in Taiwan, in this small country, it does still exist as well, and it goes back many centuries.
Yeah, it's finding those little stories, isn't it? Now, to boost Muslim-friendly tourism, the Taiwanese government is actively supporting local businesses with subsidies and facilitation of halal certification. So we spoke with Tammy Chien. She's the managing director of Islamic Commercial Development Limited, and she's been developing Taiwan's international Muslim tourism market and training local businesses since 2010. Here's her perspective.
这个观光对台湾来讲是一个非常大的一个产业，因为它带动了很多食宿游购型的相关的产业的推动。那加上因为现在台湾少子化，人口越来越少，台湾其实势必我们现在就是一定要做国际化的对接。所以我觉得观光就是一个最好的一个台湾的一个外交，所以我们透过这样的观光的一个市场的推动，可以让更多的国际的友人对台湾有更多的认识，然后还有认同感。推动过程当中，台湾因为本身的穆斯林的人口真的是占比比较少，那我们自己本身的内需市场比较小一点，因为有看到这样的一个市场的一个状况，就只想要一直去推动这个穆斯林市场，因为台湾是个岛嘛，它不像说周边的东南亚国家本身他们的国家的这个属地国土都是有连接性的，像马来西亚跟新加坡，马来西亚可以很容易到新加坡去旅游，所以当然新加坡它在推动这个穆斯林的认证来讲，就非常有更多的机会，不是只有可以满足自己本地的穆斯林的人口，它也可以满足外地来的，像马来西亚或印尼来的这样的一个接待，所以台湾在推动这一块就相对会比较弱势跟比较困难。
Fazal, Tammy outlines there some of the challenges, especially when it comes to a small domestic Muslim market, along with limited Muslim populations coming from, especially visitors in this tourism environment. What would you say is the role of the government in trying to, it ends up being kind of a chicken and egg situation here. But what would the role of the government be, and how important are government initiatives in trying to open up that market?
It's a challenge when you don't have a local community of Muslims. It's a challenge. But I think the good news, as you were showing, Divya, is that you are having 250,000 now Muslims, who are coming from outside Taiwan. So that helps, because you need a local community to sustain, especially the halal food scene, otherwise it's going to be difficult. I think Taiwan has done a tremendous job in terms of installing prayer rooms in many places, not just mosques. We have prayer rooms in railway stations, in attractions and all that. I have to give credit to Taiwan, for the last 6-7 years, they have been doing, they started in GMTI when we started in 2015. I don't know, maybe they were not even in the top 10, maybe, So during those last 10 years, they're really progress. They have done quite a lot of work. So, I give to other destinations Taiwan as an example as well, because having only a very small 0.1, you said, maybe with the expat population is slightly higher, it's not easy, but they have persevered. It's an impressive story, actually, Taiwan.
So AbdulMaalik, you touched on it, on having good narratives and using the stories that already exist. But what are the other advice would you be able to give to Taiwan based on your experience on creating the halal-friendly experience and making that a part of the tourism trail for the halal travelers?
Yeah, definitely education does play a part, and with any country you will have tour guides as well. So the tour guides themselves, they need to be trained up as actually putting the mosque, for example, the heritage mosque, the sites, etc., on the map and actually going there as well. And I know in certain countries they actually tend to miss out the Muslim locations. So working with the different stakeholders and partners with the government, for example, local authority, you can actually make mention of these are the mosques for these particular localities. What you might want to do is maybe do a specific tour that's like mosque hopping tour as well. And that tends to be quite popular in some countries as well. People do like to do, a day trip going to different mosques, where there's one by the water, close to the water, looking at the stories behind it, etc. So that can play a part in it as well.
Have you ever been here? Have you, AbdulMaalik?
No, I haven't, unfortunately. I think the closest I got to was Vietnam and Malaysia.
All right, so the next time you come to Asia, I hope Taiwan will be on your trail, and you'll be able to give us some more insights on what else we can do here. Fazal, I know you've been here many times and hope to see you here again. Thank you both so much. AbdulMaalik Tailor, he's the founder of Halal Tourism Britain, and Fazal Bahardeen, CEO of CrescentRating. Great to have you both on the program. Would you pay a premium for a trip to a place connected to your heritage? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below and click the video beside me for the discussion on how Muslim travelers are remaking the tourism industry. And if you don't want to miss more stories on tech and business from Taiwan, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell.